Okay, sorry, my micro. Of course, there's a train going by now. If the GoPro can even pick up the train, but I'm still going to wait. Trying to record at 6 in the morning, and that's when everybody decides they want to get up. Okay, bonus rant, because I don't know where I'm going to put this one, but I'm using my GoPro's microphone, so I hope the audio is clear, but I just did the math. All of these right here cost me roughly about $60. I have watched so far Balto twice, the Sonic ones at least once each, Shrek I'm planning to watch tonight actually, and then I have the rest. $60 for each of them, roughly $10 each one. I don't know, $1 for that one. I love that. I had Disney Plus for nearly 3 years, and access to Netflix through a friend. I had the $16.99 a month legacy one because I got the Disney Plus back in 2021 when some things happened and I was home for a few months due to an injury. And so in the last 3 years, I have paid over $200 a year for a service that I barely access. That's $600, mind you. $600 over the course of 3 years for a service I barely accessed. I paid $60 for this stuff in total. Minus the VHSs because, they are kind of fragile, but say $60 for a few DVDs. This right here, $20 for 2 movies. I've already watched this stuff once this year, and I plan to watch it again soon because I really liked it. Not having to deal with choice paralysis unless it's by my own design by having too many good movies to watch is great, because that means I'm going to be saving $200 a month when I got rid of Disney Plus, and I don't regret it. I only had it for Star Wars: The Bad Batch because the first season came out right when I had an accident, and I kept it ever since. And the second season just finished, so it's going to be a while. But I'm sticking with physical media as much as possible. Only thing that doesn't really count with this computer games, but long story. But I have a little rant for them on the side I'll go over here soon. Prices keep going up, and most of the stuff that I've wanted to watch on them just aren't there anymore. So I've gotten to where I've gotten rid of them. I've spent about probably $40 on all these movies, and I'm planning to mostly go toward DVD because I just wanted I wanted VHS of some of my favorites like Lion King, because we don't really have those anymore, and it's fun to open them. That, and I have myself a VHS and DVD player now. But I don't know, I got tired of them. Tired of how nowadays everything wants internet, everything needs internet. And I wanted to go to something simpler, something where I can just pop it in, because I have noticed that when the last 3 years that I've had Disney Plus and VHS, in the last 2 years that I've had Disney Plus and access to Netflix, that I have not watched a single thing on them. But I have bought about 4 to 5 VHS, a couple DVDs, and over the course of Thanksgiving break, I watched my favorite Balto right here and both of the Sonic movies right here. So I miss this. Like this is the fun, getting the DVD or the VHS and the little packets that come with it. Like, I wish I could have done an unboxing for Balto, but unfortunately I already had to open. But opening this up, seeing the little paper advertisements for it is just so much fun. I've seen Flipper tell you coming early to theaters, huh? Can you see that? This summer. Yeah, we'll see. But Land Before Time, I mean, this is the type of stuff that I grew up on, because when I in the early 2000s, I was about 5 to 6 years old, and my mom didn't have a lot of money. She was too busy working a full-time job to support me and my brother by herself, and because of that, we didn't have internet or even access to basic cable for most of the time. I'm so grateful we do now, but I mean, back then, VHS and DVDs, books, all that was pretty much all I had to go by. When we did have basic cable, I'd run home to watch shows every day after school. I had 2 channels. Physical media like VHSs are special to me, though, because you never know when the last time you'll get to watch it might be. It could be destroyed in a fire. It could be lost. It could be stolen. Though somebody come in to steal a VHS, probably you're not going to be able to save it from them. But you never know. So to pull out one of these to watch with somebody, to me, is a significant moment because it really is sharing something that in the end is just temporary. I mean, yeah, we have the digital versions, the DVDs and all, but to pull out this VHS and to watch it with somebody, to me, means a lot more. Because it's like digital cameras versus Polaroids. Every single shot you have to make count. You don't just get 1,000 of them that you can just retry. But a lot more. I love the plot is fantastic. Watching somebody trying to accept who they are, even though they don't really want to, and one side of them is shunned by everybody around them. Though I feel like in this day and age, though, something like a story like that really would speak to a lot of people more than it did back when I first watched it in the early 2000s. I'll try to throw up some scenes from the movie that I could find online because trying to record this thing on a capture card has become a nightmare. And like I said, it's special. I don't want to risk it being destroyed just trying to capture a little bit of footage. But it means a lot. I know there's a couple of I say newer. I know there's a Balto 2 and 3, but I haven't watched them. But from what I did learn about them online, they're not the best. I do still want to watch them on my own and make my own decision comparing them to one that was very significant to me growing up, because this one really did a lot for me. There was so much, and I watched it again over Thanksgiving break, and seeing scenes like the child coffin scene where the carpenter's building coffins, it was so morbid. And I just seeing scenes like the coffin scene really drew some emotion out of me, because I miss subtle storytelling like that. Now, yeah, there's plenty of good stuff nowadays, but to just have that morbid moment just brought to you so casually, it wasn't told. They could have said the children were dying, but they didn't. They showed that. It was pretty sad, but it wasn't as sad as the true story of Balto. And again, I'm not going to touch too much into all the details because I don't know everything, but I did a little bit of research on it, and it was sad what happened to Balto. A man named George Kimball. Let me start at the beginning. After the serum run in 1925, Balto's team went on a sort of public circuit around the country, and once that was done, they were sold to a man who owned a dime museum, who relegated them as essentially a sideshow attraction. And I hated that because they were put in very poor health. And then a man named George Kimball, who saw the dogs and realized who they were, he was outraged about the condition they were in, and he was actually able to raise $2,000 to bring them to Ohio, to bring them home. Well, not Ohio wasn't their home, but it ended up being their home. But it was a very, very awesome moment because, I mean, children were literally giving pocket change to help do that, which I think was amazing. It shows mankind's love for animals like dogs, but it also can show the dark side, because once the dogs were brought there, they spent the rest of their lives in relative comfort at the Brookside Zoo. But once they passed away, Balto was stuffed and mounted and put on display, which I get why they did it, but it feels so wrong. It's like an accidental hero just being... I wish he had just been able to run. And unfortunately, I learned that Togo, who was the real hero of the serum run, the lead dog of the man who ran the longest and most dangerous portion of it, was also stuffed and mounted after he passed away, which, again, it's a sad ending to it. But I don't really have much else to say about this, so I'll see you in the next one.